And we're live from New Jersey. I got Dave Sauer joining me. Add
Hey,
Dave to the stage.
Buckman.
How we doing, buddy?
Good, man. How are you?
I
Did you
am.
enjoy your trip? I'm sure we're going to get all into it, aren't we?
I don't want to talk about it at all.
Oh,
You know, it's
okay.
Of course, it was no fun. It was a grift. It was 75 men in a, in a hotel room, or 25, and I have no idea why the color of my computer, my screen, I'm looking very sepia toned almost.
You look very yellow.
Yep, I caught something in Vegas, staying at that goddamn hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one of the first places I've been to in a long time that I was like, I'm gonna check for bed bugs first.
Jaundice.
That was my.
You have to. Have you ever heard of you take the hair dryer, the hair blower to the bed, and it's supposed to at least kill some kind of surface level bugness?
No, I really never heard of that. I know when I first started dating my wife and we went on our first trip, I got tobacco in my mouth. And we first went on our first trip, we went in the room, she took all the bags and put them in the bathroom, like right away. And I'm like, what are you doing? She had to check the place for bed bugs, and bed bugs are not in the bathroom. So
Good.
we were not allowed until she checked the room that we were able to do it. The realest Stevie Lou.
Mm-hmm. That's
Dave was
right.
calling
I
my
did
phone
call.
asking me to allow you up
Mm-hmm.
into that room. Oh yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. That's
That's
well,
right.
hey, you know
Cookie.
what? That's how we know it's the realest Stevie Lou.
Yeah, because Cookie was taken by the Tio monster and was taken up to KB's room like King Kong. You have to go save her like Mario.
It was so fun because that was the funniest part, right? I'm down in the casino. I get a text from Cookie. I look at it, and it's a picture of KB, and I'm like, I
That's
said,
not what something you want to see.
I'm not allowed up there, and she said, I know. That's why I'm here, because that's the kind of wife that I have, and
Yeah, and then I think Stevie thought that you were accidentally live streaming the or purposefully live streaming the room, even though he accidentally live streamed it himself.
oh yeah, it's not me.
That's a good. No,
I
I
don't
know, I know, I know.
look
Dude,
at me. I can barely do this, let alone do that, you know.
I know.
And but no, Stevie was good to me. I got no complaints about that.
Yeah,
That
good
was
man.
great, and I got to
Can't
go up
understand
there.
what him and I can't understand why him and the Quad Father have such a beef.
Uh, well, let's not bring up the Quad Father tonight. That's kind of been
No.
such a topic of conversation for the last week.
Wow, really? People talking to you about the Quad Father? Well, the Quad Father
Yeah,
was expected to show up in Hackmania this week. He did not.
they were. Well, we were all the three of us were supposed to stream together.
We were. I
Yeah,
decided
and they
not to
were.
go also.
Yeah, they were disappointed in my answers to them, about the Quad Father, because I don't know. I didn't want to get into it um too much, you know, and it
Okay.
wasn't about
Who's
that.
they? The
Um,
Cabal?
the people who were asking. What do you mean?
Right.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. I don't know. You said they were disappointed with the Quad Father answers. I'm just curious who you meant by they.
Yeah, so there's
The
I'm
higher
le-
ups?
I'm learn no, the higher ups couldn't give a shit.
Oh, okay.
I'm learning a little bit about there's some people, and this is a shock to me. There are some people in our little universe that just want to cause trouble, you know?
No. Buckman.
I know, I'm such a
Really?
fucking innocent. So yeah,
I don't know.
so
I don't know if that's true or not. I don't think that's true.
and that's what I thought. So anybody that I have like you know, I and what do you call it? Quad and I settled our beef like
That's good.
men. Um, yeah, it's this is actually a pretty funny story. Not funny for you, Stevie, but Quadfather docks my parents' address on his show. He's a vile piece of shit. Somebody at Hackamania told me a story about being doxxed and them sending like pizza and Chinese food and all this like unpaid shit to the house, but they hadn't lived in the house for like 10 years. So it was going to the wrong people.
Is going to even more unsuspecting customers.
It was just pretty goddamn funny. Dave, I'm gonna stop my camera for a second. I want to fix this
Sure.
the way that I look. So just keep yapping.
Sure. Hey.
All right.
Hey guys. Unsubscribe to this channel and go to my channel, David Sarah on YouTube.
It's not like
It's,
I can't hear you, Dave.
It's Schmuel, you still there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey.
You just can't see me. So don't be talking shit about me.
Oh, right. Okay. Go to supertip.gg/Buckman if you'd like to donate. I think it's a good idea. Now, you know, super tips. Take what you
Yeah.
this is what I'll say about super tips. Whoever you're sending your money to, regardless, doesn't matter. It's good rule of thumb for all. Whoever you're sending money to, just make sure they're not a piece of shit. And Buckman's not a piece of shit. That's all I gotta say.
Well, thank you for that, Dave, because
No problem.
there are mucho people who would disagree. But
That you're not a piece that would disagree that you're not a piece of shit.
yeah, they would think I am a piece of shit. So
Right.
so-
Yes.
So there you go. And not that they're wrong, but not in this area, at least.
Some of those people I happen to go on podcasts with.
Yeah, we've talked about this before.
We have.
About integrating like super tips into and chat and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I
You going with the voices?
I was a little blown away at how fast somebody got
When you
set
get
up.
when you get a chance, just give me the link to your remote desktop, and I'll fix it for you, buddy.
Okay, I got to We're not it's not
Just
going to
do it. Don't
happen.
worry about it. I know. I know. I know.
It's not going to it's no it's only because it's the usual thing with me is I fucking move
It's lighting and all that
I'm
stuff.
constantly moving from one place to another, so it's like
Right. Right.
I get all set up, it's perfect, and then it
And then
becomes
guests
either a
come. You have
different
to.
webcam or it's not close, so the lighting's not right, and
Yeah,
you know,
and then Cookie wants guests over, and then you have to take down the pillow fort. We know
I'm
how
no
how it is.
yeah, and I'm no matinee idol as it is. But
I don't know
no,
that term. That must be an old theater term.
in Hoboken,
Fucking Hoboken.
Hoboken, in Jersey City. It's a condo, so it's small, so I have to set up,
Hey, hey,
and
stop.
it would get in the way.
Don't even let people know where you are.
Don't worry about it. Everyone. It's all right. It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
All right.
And
Fucking tough guy over here now. All right.
and at the house, I don't have to do that. I got my own room, where I can just leave all my shit. All right. So yeah, Hackamania was tons of fun.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I had a lot of time. I'll tell you the truth. I wish I tried not to listen to any shows today. Well, mostly because I slept all day, and partly because I started listening to maybe Karmic. I don't even know, or somebody,
Oof.
and they were talking about it, and I was like,
No
oh,
wonder you turned it off.
I'm gonna be like, oh, if I listen to this show, then I'm gonna be giving their review, not my review. But I did listen to Echo Pineapple. They had my friend Annie on, and
Yes.
that was that was good because Rochi. I almost wish I had Rochi's list of questions that he asked Annie because they were they were good. They were like spot on and right on point, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. Yes, Karmic wasn't even there, but Sketty Tooth was. I got to meet Sketty, and Sketty, I, and two other people sat in a booth together watching one of the shows. It was
Getty
very
Tooth.
lovely.
Getty
Sketty,
Tooth's a fucking OG and legend in the Dabbleverse.
and we're gonna have to talk about something that affected Sketty and the women of Hackamania, but we'll get there in a little bit. I don't want to blow the whole load right away.
Right. We gotta parse this out. We gotta do 3 episodes over 4 weeks about Hackmania recap.
Right, and
Really
we only have about an hour because I am gonna go on with my buddy Pat Dixon, who asked me to
What?
come on last night, and I was like, I can't, man. There's just no way.
Pat Dixon. Wow, you're gonna team up. Wow, you and Karmic might be the unstoppable force. I'm gonna get pushed out of this fucking duo too. I get pushed out of MLC, then I'm gonna get pushed out of Schmuel Talk. I mean, what's happening here?
Well, I almost pushed you out when I signed on to StreamYard today and realized that my logo was Live AIDS.
It's not supposed to be your logo though. I don't know why it keeps doing that. It's supposed to
You
be
know, and
inside
I'm
of my
like,
studio.
this
only.
fucking
I
guy,
don't know.
his access, he's gonna get my channel taken down.
It's not gonna get anything taken down.
And we're gonna mention this too. Kahuna Nui, the big Kahuna. I had to apologize to the big Kahuna because I chased him away from me as well.
Oh yeah, you told me from Craps.
Yeah,
Yeah, you were fucking a little testy. Why don't you tell that story? You're a little testy when you play fucking Craps, aren't you? I guess when you're making money.
I chased everybody away. I'll get into it, but again, I don't want to. We don't want to go in there. Isaac Walmart asks a really good question, which is mute yourself, Dave, while you're eating. Isaac Walmart, any more pics of Sketty Tooth John? If there are pics of Sketty Tooth John,
Go to Twitter, man.
Can you shut the fuck up? They're not from me. Sorry, they're not from me. I took very few pictures at all this weekend, and it's like I don't get like there's some creepy fucks that want a picture of everybody, and it's like
don't
one
be
thing
another
if you
Chad.
it's one thing if you take a picture together, but like when you're watching people like take pictures of
pictures
other
of
people. But not of me, but of other people, like that they want to take a picture, and it's just like, the fuck, man, just leave people alone. And Kahuna. You did not. You were good to me. Yeah.
That's
Um,
nice.
I chased Annie away so badly that
That she went and cried.
somebody
Not
came up.
cried.
Somebody came up to me afterwards, one of the women, and goes, "What did you do to Annie? She's all upset. She's in the other room crying." And I'm like,
Oh God, come on. She
"I
doesn't
didn't
have
do
tear ducts.
I didn't do any. I didn't do anything." And the short
That's
story is,
funny.
so I was playing craps on a machine,
The bubble
and
machine, bubble craps.
bubble craps. And by the time Annie walked up to me, Annie was walking up with Tukey. Tukey had to go upstairs. He told Annie to sit and watch me. And at that
Why?
point, I was playing
Because you
about
like,
two
do
hundred
you like,
dollars a $200 a roll, and Annie kept reaching across the machine and touching the buttons, going, "What does this one do? What does that one do?" And I
bubble
I
craps?
I kind of lost it, and I thought I was kind, and I thought I said, "Oh, well, I'm playing $200 a hand right now, so maybe I can teach you later." But I might have said like, "It's $200 a hand. Stop
You
touching
can't.
things," you know.
Yeah, stop talking about that.
But she came back later
She's
on,
very
and
nice. She's a
we
very
made
nice
up.
lady.
She's such a sweetheart.
I met her in Tampa at the WATP event with Dylan from somewhere. We were trying to, me and another dabbler of cocaine were trying to convince them that VTL is totally a cool person with
Oh,
no
really?
success. I mean, yes, that was the
And
whole conversation.
Rochi is here, and
Great.
Dave Starr still
And
sucks.
Rochi's still married. So I don't know.
I got to go back to one of my favorite people in the Dabbleverse. I don't know the context, but Schmuel is not a piece of shit. No, I am not.
Absolutely not.
I am not. I am a good guy.
You
And
can trust him with your credit card information.
yeah, you could. And
Yeah, I know. I mean, again, I don't want to keep going back to this, but like, you know, you and I have worked in the corporate world for most of our lives. And it's like, we know how to deal with sensitive and private information. You don't go around spilling it or saying that you fucking found somebody's zip code or whatever. Anyway, I digress. Right,
you do
Karnik?
digress. Yeah,
I'm digressing.
I was trying to get through the stream without having used that word, but
The word digress?
yeah. So
Oh.
something funny on here. Where is it? Sketty Tooth. Annie is so nice. Annie's a doll, and it had just reached the point where there was way too much money involved,
Yeah.
and it was, if I'd been playing a slot machine, it would have been different because it doesn't change. Nothing would change, But this is like, I have to place and move my money around, making it. Any Michaela sightings, Shmuel? I will talk about that in a little bit, but I will say, for me at least, and for everyone that I was with, the Michaela thing was a much bigger deal outside the people that were at the show than inside the people at the show. Most of them didn't even know about it until after it went up on Twitter. People who were there and were asking me about it. But as luck would have it, I don't know, there's something about being Shmuel. I happened to be there when it happened, and I wasn't really paying attention to it, but you can see me walking around. And I had a laugh because Patrick made a comment about it on stage, and he said, "You can see Shmuel there's about to get himself a bucket of popcorn because he knows there's a good show coming."
Mhm.
But I have an opinion about all that stuff, but that's also too the bullshit that goes, like, there's I don't want to get involved, like, I don't want to get involved in all this other outside, like, who did what, and like, it was inside the event was inside the room. I don't really want to take it away. I don't want to minimize the event because of what happened with her. But
What I
like I
saw
said,
was mild for any of these events. I got punched at Skankfest for not even saying the N word.
well, you probably deserved it.
But did I?
Yeah.
I didn't even say it.
So,
And even if I did say it, we're at Skankfest. And even if we're at Skankfest and I did say, do I deserve to be punched in the face? maybe. I
My,
can still be mad about it.
well, we all know my view on the N word is if you don't say it, you're not going to get punched in the face over it. So,
I didn't say it, Buckman.
okay.
I
But
said it how
but if
Anthony
people
Cumia used to
assume
say
that
it.
it's not even in your vocabulary,
Well, come on. I can't let them. I can't. I got to be kind of cool.
oh, okay, yeah, because racism's cool. All right, I want to.
It's not being racist if it's funny. Black people have said that.
Okay,
That's the problem. If it ain't
All right.
funny and it, then it's racist. So
all right. Let's Well, we're gonna.
this is,
I'm
this is
gonna.
what they were. This is what they were talking about. Tacomania about me. That they, you
I
better
hate
watch
to
out
say it,
about
Dave.
'em.
The only person that I know that brought you up at Hackamania was me.
Oh,
So
great. Oh, that's
I
good.
I kept trying to
That's good
sing
to
your
hear.
praises, and they were like,
They're
if they
like,
did, if
get the
they
fuck
they were
out of
like,
here.
Dave Sarah, who
Who? Dave
um,
what? Dave Sierra?
I did have
Ugh.
a woman tell me that you're a strange guy because you treat her nicely 1 minute and then you treat her poorly the next.
It's probably my fake probably the fake Dave Sarah.
No, this was apparently in real life, like in person at Skankfest. So you can guess who it is.
Oh, I don't know.
All right,
Maybe
Frank.
Lady KB.
Let me
I
ask
don't know.
Frank's
Could be
ding
Lady
ding
KB.
ding. That was pretty easy.
Okay.
But it's what
I'm
it's
not
what
being
but Dave, it's what everybody says about you. Right? Like,
good. Don't ask
right?
me to do things.
You don't know. No, it's not an insult. It's like that's what
I
makes
know
you
it's not.
it's what makes you interesting is like 1 minute you're one person, the next minute you're somebody else.
I'm a
So
fucking loose cannon.
and so I want to say that Hackamania, although there were no tables overturned and no police officers yelled at,
Right.
it was a great event. All right, Frank,
Love to hear it.
let's hear from Frank. The guy
Those
that
shows
recorded. Okay. You heard the Hilary Baldwin thing? When
The
I'm talking, you know
newest
talking.
thing.
When I'm talking,
The
you know
newest
talking.
thing.
I'm trying to read Frank's chat here, and you're talking over me. All right, Frank, the guy that recorded the lady seemed like he was antagonizing her. Why do all Melton fans seem like that guy, and not handsome guys who take care of their family and just got a haircut? Uh,
Oh, thanks.
Frank, we'll get into that, but I'm trying to go another 5 minutes with just sort of bullshit
Well,
about
here,
it.
this is what I'll say about that. Misfit generally is the guy that trashes me and talks shit, which I enjoy. I don't know if he really likes me. I mean, really dislikes me, or if he's also playing along. It's irregardless to me. I'm playing along with him. I enjoy his back and forth. He's got a really pussy ass voice, which really
All right, can we?
gives me
This is
confidence. Hold
right.
on, I'm answering the question.
I know, but I didn't want you
And
to. I just said we're
I
gonna
don't
do
really
it.
and I don't really know Michaela, so I take
Okay.
Misfit's side on this one.
We'll get into that stuff. KB, hey
Regardless.
Schmuel and David. I just came from a weekend with all these people. I want to say hello to them, and
Okay,
they're all very
say hello to
cool.
them.
So
They are.
I asked my friend Rocco. Rocco usually does a stream on Tuesday nights, and I usually do
Right.
one earlier. And the reality is I would rather watch Rocco's stream than stream on my own, which might have to do with I'll get 0 viewers if Rocco's on. So I asked him if he was doing a stream tonight,
Regardless.
and he said no, he wouldn't be, and he may do one tomorrow. My response to him was thanks for the answer. I'm going to do one, but I'd rather watch you than stream myself. And Rocco's response was, I'd rather win 3,500 in bubble craps than watch you win. And so it was a lot of fun.
That how much you won in bubble craps?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is why
Nice, Buckman.
Why do you think I was yelling at everyone?
Well, I know. I mean, I get it. $200 a roll is a lot of money, but I figured maybe you'd be down a few $100 at this point or something because people are agitating you. For you to be up 30, presumably be up, and then those people are agitating you is actually the sign of a very focused, great gambler. So you got
Thank
that
you.
going for you.
I got that. Yeah, I'll take that next time I leave
Because me, I
a
mean,
bunch of money at the Borgata.
if I'm up $3,500 and Annie comes fucking pressing, I'm like, I'm letting her roll for me. I'm asking her, I'm slapping her ass, grabbing her titties while she's rolling $500 a roll. I'm all over the place. So commendable.
Yeah, I had an unbelievable 53 rolls without a craps. So
Wow.
it was
Sick.
blown away. And I had in that role, we were talking about Rocco and I earlier had talked about there was an Asian lady who I saw do 37, and I was like, this woman did 37. That was amazing. So being a wise ass, when I got up to 29, I took a picture and I sent it to Rocco, and then by the time I got to 53 or 50, whatever it was, I was a little too preoccupied to be taking a picture. So that was the deal. But yeah, that's so. Here's the
That's intense, dude.
this is the bottom line. The bottom line is that I walked away. I got hand paid. I think $3,570, and I started with 200, so I made 3370. But it's gambling, so it's really just luck. It's not like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. No, obviously. No, I mean, well, I mean, craps, there's a little bit of intuition and there's a little bit of steadiness with luck involved. Also, you got to understand your betting patterns and things like that, and when to pull your money, when to let it ride.
I think
Nice, dude. That's
I think
sick.
the one thing I learned
I
about
figured because
craps
yeah,
was do not take T.O. Hank's advice at craps. He'll lose your money faster than you ever could.
yeah.
And
Well, Tio Hanks played, plays
T.O.
loose
is a
and
great T.O. is
fast
a
and
great
loose.
T.O. is a great guy. And
I'm trying-
but he's very funny
Yes,
because he's like
MLC legend.
he's another one that I actually chased away because he came over and told me, "You got to bet the hard ways. You got to bet the hard ways." And I looked at him and I went, "I'm an adult and I had to play." And he was like, "Oh, okay." And then he walked away.
Do you bet the hard ways?
No, not usually.
What do you bet usually? Like, what's a typical come out bet for you?
So I play the pass line and the C&E.
Every single hand.
Yes.
Okay, and then
On a come out.
and then
yeah.
let's say you hit an 8. How much you putting behind the pass line, like
It's
percentage wise? Max odds.
Max odds. So whatever the max odds. And this table was
This
3,
motherfucker
4,
knows.
and 5.
Motherfucker knows what's up. He knows what's up.
So
You know exactly. That's the best bet in Vegas, hands down. Especially if you roll an 8 or a 6, the bet behind the pass line is hands down the best bet in Vegas.
So yeah, so I take max odds on every. This is my strategy, right? My strategy is I do the pass, and I started with $5, right? So it was 5, right?
$5 on the pass line,
$5 on the pass line, and then you can go.
and you work your way up.
You can go on the outside numbers. 4 and 10. You can go 3 times on the second to inside. You can go 3.
Oh yeah.
3 times, 4 times, 5 times.
Fuck,
So
I
whatever
wanna
the max
gamble
are,
now.
whatever the max odds are, and then I put 5 on the come line, and then I take max odds on whatever I can on the come bet. So
Yep.
because
It's like a pro.
that's where the money is.
Yeah.
And then as I start making money, to be honest with
Yeah.
you, like
Throw a couple dollars on the horn, a couple
I
dollars.
generally will take 10, but which paid off a lot more than I'd ever had before. I was putting $10 on C&E, so it was a craps or 11,
Yeah.
and I was getting paid off on them, so it was cool. But the horn bats and that all the stuff to the side, that's all bullshit, you know. And
Yeah. I know it's all bullshit, but they're fun hits. They're fun. They're fun to put a couple bucks on every once in a while and get a nice little hit.
I know, but that's my problem with gambling is if I'm there, I'm focused on the gambling.
Yeah.
So, like somebody said, they didn't like the machine. They didn't like bubble craps because it wasn't social like the table. And I'm like,
You're like
that's what makes
perfect.
it so
Yeah,
fantastic.
that's I mean I like it for here and there between bubble craps a lot, But generally speaking, I would be at the table.
Yeah, but at
But
the
not if I
table,
had an embarrassing amount of money, like $50. Like I'm not gonna go to the table with $50.
right? And you
Fifty
also at
dollars,
the
I'll play bubble craps.
right, and but at the table too, you got to deal with the stickmen and the dealers, and it's
I
like put
know,
this down, do
but
that.
I like that
You're not
sometimes.
sure if you're getting paid. It's all good, but if you're learning, like the people that were there were learning how to play, that machine
Yeah,
is fantastic. But
yeah, it's better on the machine to learn.
because I'm obsessive, also checked to make sure that the machine was paying the same odds as the table,
Right.
and it was.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
on blackjack, that machine was paying 6 to 5, not 3 to 2 on the blackjacks, and that's the
What do you mean on the blackjacks though? I've never even ever
so
seen
if
the
you hit
blackjack
the way
machines.
Vegas changed over the last couple of years, right? So a
Was
blackjack
there
should
last
pay
year?
3 to 2, right? And
Okay, yeah.
what they've done is they've changed it to pay 6 to 5. It's like
On everything?
on a blackjack.
On all blackjacks.
Yeah, because that's the only
I
way
didn't know
you
that.
make like in blackjack, you make your money. The thing that takes away the odds from the house is that they have to pay 3 to 2. There's other stuff like can you surrender? Do they have to hit on soft 17? I mean, there's all sorts, there's things like that. But the big thing is the 3 to 2. But I sat down at the
Huh.
machine thinking, figuring, it's a whatever the word is. It's an infinite deck. You can't count. It doesn't really matter, any of that stuff. But I sat down and the first thing I see is blackjack pays 6 to 5. I'm like, I'm not playing this.
That's fucking stupid. I've never heard of that. By the way, do you know what the sign for surrender is?
What's the sign for surrender?
It's just like on the table with your finger, you just go sideways.
Oh,
Cross sideways means surrender.
my sign for surrender is, do you accept surrender? And if they say yes, I say take the fucking cards.
Because
And
mine is the French flag. It's a
yeah.
baguette.
So, and the other one that people don't know about is even money. So I was trying to explain to people even money on blackjack, and
Taking even money
yes. So
versus the insurance and then seeing if they have a blackjack or whatever.
right, you don't take the you don't take the
You don't get
insurance.
insurance.
You don't take the insurance, but before the dealer flips their whole card, if you have a blackjack and the dealer's showing an ace or a 10 even, but they're showing an ace, you can take even money. So if you bet $10, you get back $10 instead of getting the 3 to 2.
Yeah, and then they have in California they got the wonky no bust blackjack shit.
Well, they have that. They have that there too. They have like
I know, I'm
easy
just saying.
blackjack limit. It's all bullshit. And they have crapless craps, which I was laughing because I don't really remember how to play it. But I told Tukey was looking forward. He was really looking forward. He kept saying he was looking forward to playing crapless craps. And I said,
What?
I've never lost as much money on any gambling game as I did on crapless craps. That was a long time ago. And I've just never gone
That
near
sounds
it.
stupid. I don't even understand it, but fuck it.
It's like you need a 2 and a
So,
12 to
so I have a
win.
question. Did the group did they play craps as a group?
I don't know. I mean, they may have. They did not with me at a table. Most people
Yeah.
were playing the bubble craps. The venue was
Okay.
great. So it was like
Anybody else come up?
you
Nice.
had you had the venue, and then right outside the venue, like literally outside the door, were slot machines, bubble craps,
Cool.
and it was great. And the bathroom, this is the best part. The bathroom was very close.
Okay.
Not like it wasn't like some other places.
It's probably
where
not huge.
So the plaza's it's not as big as like Caesars or something, but
Obviously.
but you're like this place is right off the casino floor. So it's not like you're going anyplace special. It was perfect. The hotel kind of sucked.
In what
I
way?
kind of knew
Smells
that
like cigarettes?
going in. No, they have a smoke-free slot place, but where we were was not smoke-free. And Schmuel
Right.
has promised he's going to give up cigars.
Cigarettes.
I was
Gonna
told I was
give up
giving. I
cigarettes.
promised my wife I'd give up cigarettes after. I keep saying cigars after I got back here.
Cigars.
And
Cigars.
so
How many cigars did you smoke this weekend?
probably 100.
Be honest. How many did you smoke?
I don't know. They're only 4-inch cigars, so probably like 25 or 30, you know? And
Yeah, man. You just got, and plus they're just lit half the time.
I don't know. I look, man. I was enjoying it, and it's funny because I sit down at a machine and I'm like, I'm lighting the cigar and I'm asking the person next to me if I'm bothering with them with it, and like I'm thinking like even if they said yes, it's I'm not going to change. I just want it to seem
Yeah.
nice. All
Yeah.
right,
Just want to give the
so
illusion of.
let's go through some of these chats. Sketty Tooth. I bought all the donuts. So there's a pink box. There you go, KB. There's a pink box donuts on site. And food is pretty hard to come by there. Like once you get past about midnight at the plaza itself, and even
Oh,
on Fremont a little bit. And the pink box became very popular. And lucky for Schmuel, he cannot eat because I have to be a pain in the ass. Um, I can't eat gluten, so therefore I can't eat donuts. So there were no donuts for Schmuel. And
oh,
Mrs. Buckman, because Mrs. Buckman is kind of wonderful, went to the store, the supermarket, and got me cantaloupe and bananas and some
wow.
protein. And yeah,
What a lady.
she's a good girl. So I was waiting for this to come up, and Sketty Tooth brought it up. So let's talk about they. There's been a lot of talk about the shows and the performances and stuff. So I'm gonna try to focus more on. We'll get there
Yeah, the
later.
ulterior. Nobody cares about the shows. We want to hear about all
We'll
the fucking juicy gossip. Let's
we'll get
go.
to the Michaela thing, but let me talk about um, my friend Sketty Tooth John. Sketty Tooth John. The bathrooms in the hotel room sucked. Well,
Sure.
uh, the bathroom in the hotel is dark, right?
What
Like
about the bathroom
dark.
counters, though?
Let's finish. Dark. The counters are dark. Several
Okay, but are
women,
they
several women went and had makeup mirrors delivered. Um, because they could not
mirrors
put
for
on their
what?
makeup because the rooms were so dark. Um,
Oh,
Mrs. Buckman came downstairs and said to me, she's like, she was complaining about the mirror, and she's like, "Oh, it's so dark." And I said, "Is that why you're so white?" And she's like, "What do you mean I'm white?" And I said, "Oh, you look a
she
little white."
sat
She's
in
like,
there
"How
fucking
how?"
powdering
She's
your
like,
face.
"How bad?" She goes like, "How bad?" I goes, "Not bad, not bad. I mean, you look like Louis the 15th France, but that was in." And
Wow, that's
so
rude, Buckman.
she went and checked, but then there were a bunch of wives and other women there, and that was a topic of conversation for quite a while. And yeah, so it was a topic of right. KB, smart enough. KB. Um, uh, I will tell you about my room experience in a minute. So Sketty Tooth, yes, you were the one that bought the makeup mirror. I didn't want to say anything about it, but yeah, Sketty Tooth bought the makeup mirror. KB uh, KB brought my own makeup mirror. I learned fast. Yeah, KB. And I think I actually told KB, my wife made a comment that KB, it might have been Lucy I was telling. So my wife made a comment that Lucy, KB, and Sketty Tooth looked very put together uh, at the event, and she wishes she could put herself together as well. And I told her she was fantastic. Okay,
Oh, I
Jason,
saw her. I saw her going to the. I saw pictures of her going to the pool.
the
And let me
poo,
tell ya,
the poo. Who is it? Which one was this?
Lady KB,
Lady KB. Yes. Um,
do not go
uh,
follow her on Instagram.
Jason Bentley got to get a Lux room next time. So, Jason Bentley, the answer to your question is the Lux room is
That
more
Jason Bentley.
disgusting than the other rooms. So, I count them, was in 4 hotel rooms that weekend.
I'm joking.
4.
Right.
Because I got a junior suite, and I tried to get a suite, but I waited too long and I couldn't get one in the South Tower. So I got a junior suite. I go up to my room. It's on the 10th floor, and I look to the left, and there is the ice machine, and I look to the right, and there's my room door, and then I open the door, and I'm looking right out onto Fremont Street, and I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm staying in this room, right? Between the ice machine and Fremont Street. And it's not like I spend a lot of time in the room, but I'm not going to do it. And it was literally
Dude,
steps from the elevator. It might have been 5 feet from the elevator. So
you're
I go,
talking my favorite type of room.
oh,
Right next to the ice, right next to the elevator, overlooking whores.
yeah, I'm kind of an adult. So
Done.
I went downstairs
Yeah,
and
you're a
said,
fucking square.
yo, this room's not going to work out, blah, blah, blah. I got a very, very shitty, really shitty uh, reception from the dude. The clerk behind the desk was, well, every hotel room has ice machines. And I was like, I'm not talking to you. Get me your manager. The manager was
Oh,
even worse. They gave me another room. I got another
right.
room, and it was exactly the same room, but on another floor.
Yes. That's
So
how they work. They're all the same rooms,
I
but it's
went
not it's
back
an ice machine,
downstairs.
right?
I went back downstairs. No, the same room, same ice machine, same goddamn elevator.
They're
Everything was
trolling you,
exactly the
dude.
goddamn
They're
same.
fucking trolling you, dude.
Well, wrong guy to
That's what you
troll. So
get.
I went back downstairs, told them it was unacceptable.
Oh,
Told them I was disappointed with the way the manager talked to me, blah,
uh,
blah, blah. And so I wound up getting a larger room, suite kind of thing, and a $40 food credit. But, so that was room number 3, and I was willing to stay there. Mrs. Buckman showed up. She got there late. She got in at 11:30. I went and picked her up. She comes out. She's like, have you been in the bathroom? And I went, oh, just to pee. I wasn't really taking a look at anything. Come here. Come. She made me look at the shower, and the bathtub was so disgusting with like the ring around it. Boom. Next morning, over to the South Tower. Great room. So 4 rooms later, we were there, and I actually think I got another credit. I think she got a credit for something as well, but I was very happy with that, and I was in the South Tower, and Sketty Tooth. I'm staying somewhere else next time. Um, yeah,
every
so
time I go to downtown LA or anytime I stay in downtown Vegas, I stay at the
Grand.
downtown Grand. It's just
That's
simple,
where
cheap, new, clean,
that's
well
where
lit.
that's where we stayed last year, and
Yeah.
I heard people complaining about it, and I was like, I
It's
thought it was a
it's not a
really
great
nice
hotel. There's
hotel.
none of those hotels are great over there. They're all garbage. But at
Right.
least that one's newer.
So Chris Mack, circa Sketty to
Circa. I
John.
mean, yes, obviously Circa is the best one, but that's at sometimes it's $450 a night. I mean, let's be
So
real here.
I've been
I'm not that pampered.
I've been to the plaza before. I knew it was going to be not so nice. So I booked when I originally did the booking, which was way back when. I booked the plaza and I booked the Circa, and I sent Tukey a message and maybe Cardiff, and I said, like, are you guys staying at the Circa? Because I think I remember the year before Cardiff or Tukey, because Cardiff wasn't there, saying he was going to stay at the Circa. And he was like, nah, man, I'm going to stay at the plaza. Everything's right there. So I canceled the Circle reservations, and we wound up staying at the plaza. And I did not realize how close they're literally across the street from each other.
Yeah.
So it's like we could have just stayed there, but it was really
Uh
nice.
like the D is fine, except every fucking room below the 20th floor it does is like missing furniture. There's like a missing chair, or there's no table, or there's no nightstand, and it's like, okay, everything above the 20th floor or whatever, everyone that I've been in above the 20th floor, it was fully furnished perfectly. Everything below it was like sparse.
That's
It was
weird.
impossible to get a full set. I mean, and they look like halfway house rooms too.
Hey,
Which,
do your hand in front of your cam. You're blurry.
yeah.
Um, yeah. What was so weird was the North Tower was supposedly the one that was renovated. That's where they put us in. and we wound up going into the South
It's also
Tower.
the light.
And the North
Yeah.
Tower, everything in that room had to be 20 years older than it was in the South Tower. And it was like, the guy's telling
Yeah.
me, oh, the North Tower has been upgraded and it's got USB slots and all this other shit. It literally fucking
Got
had a
USB
power
slot.
strip that like somebody ran over to Staples and bought with 3 plugs and a couple of
Of course.
USB ports. It was unbelievable.
Of course.
Sketty
Yeah.
Tooth. The downtown Grand was nice. I got an amazing top floor. Sketty, I got a corner room where the 2 walls were all glass. And it was fantastic. I really liked it. But the guys were complaining about the casino being so small. And Kahuna, Chris, the circle looked like a nice place for
Yeah,
sure.
Circa is very nice. But it already is turning very, very, I don't, ghetto's not the right word. It's turning rowdy already.
Well,
I mean, I know that's downtown, but it's already turned pretty rowdy.
you have to show your driver's license in order to get in the building. You can't just walk into the
A
circle.
lot of those places in downtown are like that too.
But no, this was other than there were like the Golden Nugget was doing it at a certain time, like after a certain time. But every place
Yeah,
else, it was
okay.
just walk in and walk out. The Cirque 24/7. You gotta
I mean, the D was doing that last year. Yeah, yeah. I
they
guess it just
scan
depends on
your-
everything. Oh yeah, they scan your ass now.
I'm not
too, huh?
talking about at the table. I'm talking about
No,
to get
to
in the
get
building.
in, to get in the building. Yeah, D was doing
Yeah.
that also.
So, oh man, it was pretty wild, the the whole thing. So, but these guys were I don't know, man. I had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun meeting people. I got to see my buddy Lorkenzo, who I haven't seen in a year. Who, when I first met him, I thought he was Patrick's body double, and he looks just like Melton, and he was great. And another lovely wife. So there were a lot of wives there, like women and wives, like guys brought their wives or their girlfriends with them. And it was really a lot of fun. Like, because they got to hang out and talk, and it was great. Um, I really enjoyed their company. Uh, hey, Carlos, thank Christ, moving on from TripAdvisor. Carlos, I have to. It's important. These are important topics. Do you want my opinion on what I thought about the Biggest Universe show? No, nobody wants that. Detroit by Dark.
Mr.
Lorkenzo
Powdered
is
Wig
great.
Man.
Lorkenzo is a good guy. And wait, hold on a sec. Chris Mack, how about them lingerie clad bartenders twerking on top, I can't read, man. Twerking on top of the bar during the
Lingerie.
nightly musical performances
Oh yeah,
on Fremont Street. And
yeah.
yeah, some
And
of them were
the
not.
guy with the two little black daughters singing. I'm sure you saw them.
So I saw black kids, the little black kids like the girls, but I never saw them singing. And last year it was all the time. So I don't know if it was the same kids, but I don't think it was because it would have meant they hadn't aged in a year. But I don't have kids. I don't know
We
what they
get
look
new
like
6-year-olds every year. Every year there's new 6-year-olds.
So, but in Chris's, so this is when you on Fremont Street by the Golden Gate, which is across the street from the plaza. So they have these chicks that are up on the bar and they're dancing, and nobody on Fremont Street are the best looking people you've ever seen, whether it's the people that work there or the guests or whatever. But they were doing their thing. But they did have a couple of bands, particularly a band that was playing right at the end of Fremont Street by the plaza. It was like I don't know, like an 80s rock cover band. They were really good.
Yeah.
Like I was
Yeah.
blown away by how good they were.
I don't know
And-
specifically. They're on a stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a stage over there. Usually there's something going on. Sometimes it's somebody big, sometimes it's small. At Skankfest, I think was Jelly Roll performing one year. Maybe Chris Mack knows. I think Jelly Roll was performing one year at Skankfest. Or not at Skankfest, but like was performing at the fucking on Fremont Street and then just ended up coming to the event and meeting everybody. Could be wrong about something like that, but yeah. Yeah, it's
Cool.
fun. They have it's fucking cool. It's cool little. It's cool spot. Cool spot.
Um, yeah, I don't
I
look.
like downtown Vegas.
I don't. I mean, look, it's a shithole.
It is a
The only
shithole, and
reason,
it looks it is prime for a mow down. Is my only issue.
yeah,
Which I'm afraid of.
my only reason that I used to go down there, which doesn't happen anymore, was because the gambling was always good. Like the odds and stuff were great, and
Uh,
the limits were low. And I am old enough to have learned how to play craps on a 25-cent table at Binion's back when it was owned by the Binion family, and they had the $1 million hanging up. You know,
ah,
yeah,
that's cool.
and it was very funny because it used to be get your picture taken with $1 million, right? And they take your picture, but it would come out like on a piece of thermal paper, like an old fax machine paper. So by the time you got home, it was already gone. Um, but it was fun. Mud Sharks Unite, Spandex Nation. I will tell you, Mud Shark. I
I mean,
saw a
I
lot
was
of I saw a lot of 50-pound spandex, a lot of 50-pound broads and 30-pound spandex bags. Let me tell you, that was brutal.
dude. We went to Excalibur. My first trip to Vegas. It was probably like '94. I was probably like 8, and Excalibur was brand new, only been open for a couple years, and we went. I remember my dad hit a $360 coin jackpot, actual coins. Remember going up and down the strip collecting the cups from everywhere, dude. We were in my aunt's minivan. It's fucking great.
It used to, yeah. I, I, when I was the first time
Yeah.
I went to Vegas, they were building the Excalibur,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
and like I was like, oh, what's that going up? And also, I don't know if it was when the Mirage opened, but where you could drive down the strip then, it was like pretty like not as crowded as it is today, and being way far away and seeing the flames from the volcano, I guess at the Mirage, and had no idea what it was, and then drove down there. Um,
Yeah, that was like when they were making the push to make Vegas more
yeah,
family friendly.
yeah, they had that the Pirates show, and
Yeah, that's the Treasure Island. Yeah, but they had. I mean, I
Treasure.
remember going and seeing the fucking Excalibur, just like the medieval times bullshit. You know what was cool? When I used to know one of the. I mean, I know one of the former developers for VFX for WoW for World of Warcraft,
Hmm.
and she invited me one year. She had been working there for like 15 years before they laid her off. God, they did her dirty. She got a big fucking sword for being there for 15 years. Anyway, dude, they what they do every year, Blizzard, they take over medieval times for like 3 days, and they have like 4 or 5, 3 or 4 shows a day, and it's all Blizzard characters, and it's only for like Blizzard employees and their families and friends. And it was so fun. And they come up with their own storyline, and they wear the costumes. They're still on horses and shit, but it's fucking. It was fucking cool, dude. And the chicken is bomb. But anyway, go on.
Okay, I've never been to an Evil Times event, and
Really,
yeah, and
it's
if I
fun.
am or medieval times, whatever, and if I die never having gone to one, it will be okay with me. I'll survive. Um, so yeah, you, that was like an Anthony Cumia thing. He and Eastside Dave went to that
Yeah,
together. So what does this say here? From Detroit by Dark, Blizz too far from
yeah.
L.A.
Blizzard's in. That's what I was responding to in chat. Blizzard is in Irvine, and Medieval Times is in Anaheim. No, is in Buena Park,
Wow.
which is like near. They're near. They're not that far from each other. They're both in Orange County. But yeah, it's not in LA. It's in fucking Irvine. I
Shmuel
live in
lived
East
through
LA. I
medieval
live like
times.
solid 45 minutes without traffic to the Blizzard headquarters, which I must say was fucking cool. Before Microsoft came in, I'm sure they destroyed it. I'm sure they brought, but like it was just like how all of the movies or television shows portrayed, like just like you know, free or very cheap food, you prime cut, like all
Yeah,
kinds of shit. Starbucks, dude. Fucking server rooms.
yeah, no, yeah.
Ew.
Uh,
Pets.
KB, Schmuel
Fun
lived through
environment.
medieval times. Where do you think I learned to be so chivalrous, KB?
That's right. I missed that one. That was good.
I was trying to, yeah, get that in, but somebody was going on with a story about a place. Um, Hey, Frank, you're welcome to continue to chat, but I'll be on with Pat in about an hour. So if you want to do that there,
Just
um,
an hour, like 30 minutes ago.
knock yourself out. Um, little known fact, Shmuel once parted the Red Sea. Yeah. I wish I was as old as these
It's
people
my
thought I was.
now he's parting my hair.
Dave. Oh, Dave. So, yeah, so the shows were great. Like I enjoyed that. We went through the hotel. Um, the hash house, the food was
Hash
good.
House, sure. White Castle.
Uh, I was at White Castle, but once again can't eat White Castle, so I was hanging out outside. Um,
God, you're like little man Tate, bro. You can't eat any of that shit.
you know what? It's great. Look, it's great for me because I would eat all that stuff. So then, like when Tukey was taking a video of me last night, and I looked at it, I'm like, oh, geez, thank God I'm not as fat as I used to be. Stallion, Schmuel, you popping up in so many random pick this weekend had me die.
He
It
does
had
this kind of.
it had me dying too. I was like it was uh what the hell is that Woody Allen movie? Zig. Oh man, what was the Woody Allen movie? Ziegfeld? Is
I
it?
don't know, dude. I don't
The
watch
one where
pedophiles. I'm
Woody
just
is like
joking.
in every picture he becomes something. Oh man,
Oh, I don't know.
it, it was great. Yeah, it was wild, man. I was like Zelig. I
Zelig,
was
whatever that is.
I wound up seeing myself in more streams. But the funny part is like, all right, so the Michaela thing happened and I
Okay.
was there and
Are we
I
ready for that
watched
yet? We're an
and
hour
I
in.
and I watched it and I didn't realize its importance. Like I was looking at it to me, it was just a drunk chick fighting with a guy,
It's not
yelling at a
important. Trust me.
guy, and I could care about either one. I
Right.
only knew Michaela from the day before that she'd been introduced. So uh, people at these events have always been really good to me, where they'll tell me like um, people that I trust will come up and whisper something in your ear, and maybe
What the
say,
fuck? Wait, no, that I've been to a lot of these events, Fuel,
mm-hmm,
and it's never happened to me.
yeah,
Except
because
for
nobody cares about you. Like they protect the old man. So they'll come up to me. Like
take a
somebody
bump.
came up to me the day before. I said, "Who's that?" And they told me who it was, and they said you might want to like stay away from that. So in any event, I
And
saw
you're saying
it.
it's not me, honestly.
No, it's not you. It's me. They're they're trying to take care of me.
No, I know. I'm saying who. No, I know.
I'm
But
sorry.
what you're saying, the person that they're telling you to stay away from was not me.
No, nobody told me to stay away from you.
That's about
No,
right. It's fucking right, dude.
no.
Tell me who
They're
your
the
daddy
ones.
is.
They're the ones that
Hold on, my door,
the
my front door just opened due to the
oh,
wind. Continue.
thank God. Maybe I can get a word in now. All right. Um. So we're I'm sorry. Where were we? All right. So it's talking about the Michaela thing. Um. My opinion when I saw it, I don't know that it's changed. Um. But I've been told not. Um. I've been told that I'm wrong. I don't know really any of the history. I don't know anything of the background of what's going on. I thought she was baited into it and she bit. Like um I thought my first impression of that situation was she's a drunk. She was drunk and this guy was trying to bait her into it. Like get her to respond the way she did, right? And then later on when we found out uh he went to Melton and told Melton about it, and Melton wanted to have nothing to do with it, and nobody in the event wanted to have anything to do with it. And then he went to hotel security and had hotel security toss her out. I thought it was all part of. I just thought it was a whole bit. Um, but Sketty Tooth is
It's a
saying the
whole
whole. She
bit.
knows the whole background and it wasn't baited.
You
So
heard Misfit's voice. I'm just joking.
no,
I stand by what I said earlier about Misfit. I'm on his side. I like him. Even if he doesn't like me and he's not actually playing around with me, I have no idea. I don't care. And when I saw the video, and is that the same Michaela we see in chat? Okay, I must admit, I'm sorry, I'm stupid. That Michaela that we've always seen in chat was a fake Bricadas Michaela. That was just some dude. That was just some fake Bricadas Michaela. You know what I mean here? I had no idea
who's
that was
Mercatus Michaela?
Isn't Bricadas' wife named Michaela?
No, it's Kayla.
See, I'm retarded. That's how uninterested I am about Ricada, Michaela, Kayla, Come Eater.
Right.
So
Gotcha. See,
All right.
Sketty Tooth. So, like I said, I have been told. I was told that I was wrong, and somebody is supposed to clue me in on the stuff, but I didn't want to get into it there because I just didn't want to get wrapped up into it. I didn't feel like it was going to turn out well, and I'm also terrified of getting myself sucked into Spurgtopia or whatever the hell it is you guys have.
this not, dude. You'll be fine, Schmuel. Nothing's gonna happen. You'll be okay.
Imagine being scared of an old lady. No offense to Michaela.
I was scared of Spurgtopia forever. And I realized, yeah, I need friends.
Oh, okay. Well, Sketty Tooth, I'm just going to quickly, there's a long history. I guess there's a long history of these guys having problems. And Misfit seemed upset about it when I spoke to him. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I spoke to Misfit after it was over, but I don't know the guy. Like, I don't know the history. I don't know these guys. But I just,
Let's best we not get into Spurgtopia drama.
right.
Dromtopia. Yeah. Doesn't have the right ring to it.
See, this is the part that I just want to say this, and then I'm going to move on. Wait, Stevie Lou, anyone who says that they know the situation and that wasn't Misfit, and that Misfit wasn't instigating is completely right. Wasn't instigating it is completely lying. And then Sketty says, it doesn't matter, Stevie. He was just sitting there eating, and she confronted him.
Well,
I was there. The
I
whole
mean,
time.
well, first of all, we have the video. Second of all, you know, I would tend to agree more with Schmuel and Sketty because they were there. However, I understand your sentiment here, Louis. Note taken.
When I
think Misfit for the most part.
When I was there, what I saw in the first place is they were talking to each other. I did not know that there was like tension between them. So
do we know now what the tension was?
It's just history, apparently.
Just chit chat.
Yeah, I get a little.
Well, I guess Misfit really is that dude.
This is going to take. You got to stop me after I say this, okay? But
okay,
because I don't want to get into it. But this takes me into another area, which is apparently this woman slept with somebody else or cheated on her husband a year ago, and that precipitate. This is the stuff that I was hearing, and I'm really tired. I really dislike the moralizing in the Dabbleverse universe. You know, if you want to get on Ricada because of his kids, that's one thing. But the fact that they were doing coke, the fact that they were, look, that's just people's business. I don't need to be
infidelity,
chasing people's activities in the bedroom. You know, but I don't. Like I said, I don't know. Chris Mack,
I think both of them can do whatever the fuck they want and enjoy their consequences either way, and I'm here for it. That's what I.
Well,
say.
this is why. I'm not. I was in.
We were talking about it. Yeah, I mean, great. It's great stuff. I mean, we were talking about it, so it's great.
Yeah, we are.
How tall is Misfit?
He's a big guy, but I'm
He's a
small,
big guy, huh?
you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I like talking shit to the big ones.
Unlike
And
Stuttering John,
then
I
just
was
keep dodging
once
them.
I was once
Like
like
literally.
a little bit over 5'8", and I seriously doubt I'm close to 5'8" anymore.
Dodging
You
them
know,
and dodging them.
the 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 geriatric. Anyway, it was insane to try to get a gotcha in a troll mode on a drunken woman. That's not even talking about how he videoed it like a teenage girl. So, Chris, you bring up an interesting question, not about them, but a lot of people were like asking me, like, "Are you taking pictures of this? Are you videoing it?" And
Jesus,
I can't
dude.
do that. I'm like an old man, but I'm also like I'm afraid if I'm walking around with the camera videotaping everything, I'm gonna miss what's really going on. And so
Yeah.
I'll be there. I'll let others do it. Um,
You're living the moment, man.
Stevie Lowe, you don't go running to security to try to checkmate someone over a Discord beef. What's wrong with you people? Um, I tend to fall on that side of things. Again, I don't know the story, but if you go, my gut
I don't
tells me
know.
that if you go to Melton, Melton doesn't give a shit, then you shouldn't either. But
What was the real consequence of all of it? What happened to Michaela in the end?
she got trespassed from the plaza.
And then
That's it.
she couldn't attend any more of the shows.
No, and she did not get a refund of her VIP ticket.
So how many
So
shows did she miss?
it happened pretty early on, right, Sketty? It's like the first day, I think.
Ah, what a prick move, dude.
And she bought a VIP ticket. Instead of enjoying the event, she went right up to Misfit and just stared at him. She also yelled.
I am laughing. I'll tell you that
Yeah,
much.
yeah. I mean,
And
she look.
that's pretty
Um,
fucked up. I'll tell you that much. I'll be pissed.
yeah, it's all fucked up. But
Call my
I
credit
guess what
card right
happens is,
away.
yeah, I try to spend my time de-escalating. So maybe it's you know, uh, I don't know, but I still do. Uh, uh, LOL, you will do if she says she will kill you. Um, I guess you mean go to security. I don't know. I've had how many people have told me they're going to kill me. Um, so uh, in any event, it was just interesting. Right, it happened right. It was early, right? It happened at the VIP event, right, Sketty? Um, and I can prove I was there, so I'm not. And I probably know
That's hilarious.
least about it. So it happened in the very beginning. It was like the first hour or two of the show, you know? And I walked away from it. I didn't see the ending. I didn't see like security come and get her. I didn't see any of those things. Um,
Well, well,
but I do have, I
I'm glad
can
it was
tell you,
Misfit who did it.
I
Represent
can tell you what,
well, you did.
I can tell you why we know about it though.
Can't tell you why we know about what.
Why everyone knows about this.
Those wait.
I can tell you this, but hang on. But let me just take a second to get there. Um,
Oh, what you're
uh,
saying, what you're going to be saying in a few minutes is what
in
you're telling me that
in just a
okay.
couple of minutes, right? So that guy was
You're like the king
escalating
of
the
the tease over
situation.
here, dude.
No Schmuel. I'm trying to get to everything, Dave. And if I start that, I'll never get back to this.
Go,
And I
go,
want to
go,
answer people's
go.
questions. All right. They're in the chat. We haven't gotten any super tips, so I don't
Hey.
I don't care about that. And I wanted to make a comment. I wanted to make to see how
All right,
I'm
buddy.
answering chat. None of this is important to me. Anyway, that guy was escalating the situation. No Schmel. I don't know. That was my thing. I thought videotaping it. I always think if you're videotaping that confrontation, you're escalating it. But that was just my go-to, but I didn't know that they had a past history. I don't know, didn't know any of this other stuff. Um, Sparg Snake at Taz, the resident artist, on my way. Everybody loves Taz. Sketty, I want people to have a good time. I don't have time to yell at people. Yeah, same thing, same thing. Um, she said she
Yeah.
had a gun. It's Las Vegas. Everybody says they have a gun. So I'm not just. It's like 90% of people, like all these guys are telling me about your fucking carry laws and shit like that. Apparently, Um, Once you get west of the Hudson River, everybody thinks that they're packing or have got guns. So she said she had a gun on her, you morons. Uh, okay, and she
I'm
thank you,
still
Ozone.
laughing at Michaela getting fucking kicked out on the first day because of Misfit. I didn't realize she got like excommunicated. Like fucking, she wasn't able to attend any of the shows after that. That's fucking. All right,
Yeah.
continue.
So listen, uh, I've talked about that enough already because I'm just getting my. I don't have any idea of
Yeah,
the history. I'm only learning about it
yeah.
now. Um,
Well,
and
what else
yeah,
you got?
I don't know. You know what? I maybe because I'm from New York and guns are so hard to get hold of here that when somebody tells me they have a gun, unless they're showing it to me, I tend to not believe it. I always because
Right.
that's to me like it's the same. It has the same power to me as saying you're going to have your lawyer call me. Like, yeah, all right, sure. Like you have a lawyer. Um, but
Sure.
the real question is, why do we know about this story? Why did this story make it to the stage in Hackamania? Any thoughts on that?
Hmm. Why?
Yeah, why do you think that why the Michaela story made it to the stage with Misfit?
Couldn't tell you.
So, all right. So, if anybody's been watching Melton for the last couple of weeks, he's been on to a guy, Charles Chance. Okay? Charles Chance is a guy who lives in his garage of his mom's house. And I guess he's got a sister that lives in the home too. And uh, he's a real locale. And Patrick was sort of bringing him on as a locale, but Charles had bought who's Pepe Sylvia? Uh, Charles had bought a what do you call it? Had bought a VIP ticket, and Melton brought him on. Brought him, said, "Oh, we got to meet this guy. We got to meet this guy." Um, so Charles comes to the show, and then part of NLO was they're going to bring Charles up on the stage and do a bit with Charles. Now, I met Charles the night before at the bar, and Charles would not shut the fuck up. And uh, he makes me look like a quiet person. This fucking guy,
What does he
like,
make me look like?
started makes me look like a quiet person.
What does he make me look like?
He reminds me of you a lot in
Okay.
that he'd like not stop talking, but
Right.
he gets on a thing, like he gets on he's on a topic. His topic was Indian casinos and horse racing, two things that I care very little about. And he wanted to explain every intricate nuance and detail.
Right.
And you couldn't get him to like change or refocus or whatever. But he didn't
So I started
stop.
talking to him about Stuttering John.
He didn't stop talking the whole time. So so he goes up on the stage with Melton, and I'm thinking, oh, this guy's never gonna shut the fuck up. Well, old Charles gets up on stage and he doesn't say a word. They're
Right.
asking him questions. He's given one
Freezes
word
up.
answers. The only time in his life uh, that he was quiet. And so Melton had a bail, and they had the Misfit Michaela thing as a backup, and that's why that came up. From what I was told, and I think Misfit would probably back me up that they might have were going to mention, but they really weren't going to do a lot of time on it. And the only reason why we really got it on NLO and we did it was because Charles failed miserably at his chance. But this guy Charles is a rather unique character. So while I was annoying everyone while I was playing craps and not talking to people, um, I look across the casino and I see a guy fall out of his chair, literally just fall out of his chair. And then a couple of people had to help him back in the chair, and it was obvious he was drunk. That was Charles. Now that was at night. At 10:30 in the morning, I saw Charles came out of the elevator with me. He was in the next elevator. He came out of the elevator, and he was walking through the casino. And I thought, in my thing, I'm like, oh, I never saw him walk last night. Dave, why are you on my screen 3 times? Um, I I never saw I never saw Charles walk, and I was like, oh, does this guy have like cerebral palsy or something like that? Like, oh, like that was my thought, right? And we stopped at some place to talk to somebody in front of the club. We were talking, my wife and I and somebody, and Charles goes walking by, and I'm like, oh, this poor guy. And then I realize I'm like, or he could be drunk, but trying to be nice. And then security was at 10:30 in the morning escorting him back to his room. He was fucked up, man, and he was just the guy just I don't know how he was up later in the day. He just fucking was just pounding down the booze. Sketty Tooth. Charles was funny. And when Charles went back into the audience from up the stage, he wouldn't stop talking. I knew it. I knew it. Because that's the way he was when I met him. And
Okay, so wait, is Charles he's the fat guy that went on with NLO with Moody and Melton?
He is no, the fat guy that went on was Misfit. The
Not
guy
that. No, the other fat guy. Never mind.
Nobody would describe Charles.
There was
as
a
fat.
couple. There was a couple fat guys. No,
Charles
never mind.
Long gray ponytail and like a beard thing.
Okay.
And whatnot.
I might have missed it. I probably did miss it.
There you go. Sketty Tooth got it. Santa Claus looking guy.
Okay,
but he's not
Santa
fat,
Claus
right?
is fat.
He's not fat though.
Okay, whatever. Stop. It doesn't matter. Not important. Are we still gonna be going for a little bit?
Yeah, I'm gonna be going
right?
until about
okay, good.
11ish. Why? Go do something. It's not like you've given me time to talk anyway. No, I'm kidding. All right, Dave. I love you. Kahuna. I've read this already, but Kahuna said when he went back in the audience, he wouldn't stop talking. That was totally 100% my experience. And there's a lot of people there that don't stop talking, and I may be among them myself. But I feel like I do know to walk away when I'm getting bad, or I do know I'm tormenting you. But Charles he didn't stop, and he didn't take any cues. There was nothing like, as my wife would say, it's a monologue. It's not a conversation. And you couldn't really ask him any questions like, how did you kind of get here? Like, how did you become a Melton fan? And I got the answer that I think it was the Cirque has the greatest sports book, and with auditorium seating, I walked away. That's what I wanted to do. And I later on, this was my first interaction with him was very early, before the VIP and all that other stuff. And I said to somebody, I said, oh, I saw Charles was over in the bar. And they were like, well, he's been there all day. So nobody was surprised. And when Schmuel plays craps, he's more of the yelling type. Yeah, not, I feel bad that I did that, but it was too much. It was too much. And if I can figure out how to do this without causing too much disruption, I will play my Dabbleverse moment, in my favorite Dabbleverse moment, but we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah.
All
So
right.
in any event, I want to say to Stallion, I couldn't believe how many fucking videos. Jesus, I sent out a tweet saying you guys can get. Oh, it's crazy. Anyway, I couldn't believe how many videos I wound up being in people's, and it was like I wasn't trying. Like, I didn't know the Michaela thing. Then they were taking the group picture. I was trying to stand out of the way. I was talking to Baloney Factory, and I had to tell my Baloney Factory my story from DabbleCon when I was outside, and I was telling somebody how great their work was, like that it was awesome, and I really love the shit they do, and I couldn't believe that they pulled it off, and it was just fantastic. And then I mentioned one of the works, and the dude went, "Oh, you're thinking of Baloney Factory. I'm Looney Tunes Factory," and
Oh
so
no,
it was, yeah, it was pretty. It was
but not
pretty.
Looney Tunes critic.
Or Looney Tunes critic. Yes, yes. You're thinking of Baloney Factory, and I'm Looney Tunes critic. And it
Right.
was very funny. That was at Dablecon too.
There's Dutcho Depot, and I really like a bird from this position.
Yeah, you're also kind of loud.
Am I sorry?
So that was the deal. Is uh, Baloney Factory used to make the great Aquatine style shorts. He had Joey as Master Shake and stuff. Um, he has not gone anywhere. It's just it's time. He was explaining to me how much time it takes to do all of these videos, and he's got a regular job, and uh, it was and that's the reason why. And he's got like some other stuff that he wants to do. But he's a cool guy. He's very interesting to talk to. And what am I supposed to put on the screen? Put that on the screen. Um, just a little warning show zone. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I don't know what we're doing here. You really can't. Sad losers really touch grass. Grow. I'm sorry. You can tell they really don't get out much. Sad losers really touch low. All right, let's do. Let's. I'm not going. I'm gonna do this. Yeah, this
Run.
is just a Melton verse NLO thing. Period. I thought they were saying. I like both shows. Know both people, so I can be objective. The tribal ones don't. Then Minty, you can tell they really don't get out and touch much. Sad losers really touch grass, and oh, this is what he wanted on screen. Mint, you truly don't want to go after me personally like this.
Wow.
Ooh.
Bum bum bum.
Shots fired.
Ba-da-dum.
So let's not yeah, let's not do it, guys.
Do
At
we
least
need a
not
moderator in chat?
don't
Hey
start it.
guys,
Don't start it here. I don't
break
look,
it up.
yeah,
Maybe
well,
we should hire Stealth to come in here and
I could put it
moderate
up.
chat.
Hey, what's the deal with Stealth? I don't get it.
What's the deal with him? Just
Why
a
is
nice
he-
feller. He's
why
been
is
around
he
the
a thing?
Devilverse forever. What do you mean? Why? Again, you asked me this. Like, why are you a thing? Why am I a thing? He was a mod. I mean, he's been around forever. He's in chat.
Okay. All
Just
right.
like everybody else. Yeah, don't. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry. Didn't mean it like that.
I just
He lives
know,
in
I'm just-
Japan. He's a Brit that lives in Japan.
Oh, because I was watching Hovo the other night.
He got a little pissy that Karmic didn't give Doom and himself enough credit for getting Ricada on his show. I think is where some of it bubbled, and also Final Boss and he. But I think apparently that they're cool now.
Okay, I just
can't.
all I
that's it.
know is I was watching that Povo thing the other night, and they were watching
I know-
Karmic, and he was really going after Karmic, but it was like I don't know. He was going after Karmic's artistic choices or personal. I don't know. It really didn't. I felt like who is this guy and what why is it? So Ray Schmuel pulling a Ray post Hackamania one.
Good. We should
wait.
talk about that at some point.
Carlos
Ray
Danger.
fucking
Why
canceling
is
on
he a
the
thing?
Hog
This is a
Shack.
shit verse, sir. None of our fathers would be doing this. I know
My father definitely.
My dad would be very embarrassed.
I mean, technically, I guess not technically, but theoretically, but maybe technically, my dad is part of the. He's one of the few people who's been on camera on the #1 most super chat comedy podcast in the United States. He was shown on camera. I don't even know if you've been shown on camera. You have.
What
I
show
guess.
is that?
The Boss's show. That's all I'll say.
You're
Under the bridge.
allowed to say his name. You
sometime.
just don't want to say it because you don't want him to know you were on here.
I'm in
Does
the
he
middle of
pay you?
No, he doesn't, and I don't want him to pay me. Anyway,
Oh,
next topic.
all right.
But yeah, Ray. I say we talk about Ray, but whatever you want. Keep talking about your shit. Go.
No. I guess that why. What do you call it? I guess why is a thing. Is that a Ray thing? But um, I'm just wondering. I don't know these
Yeah,
people.
thing. Is it? Oh, that is a Ray thing that you just did. That's right.
Right. That's why
Why
Carlos is
thing?
pointing it out.
Wow.
Keep
I didn't even pick up on that.
Keep up. Keep up.
Wow. Old timer.
So
I'm gonna have numero Josh Danny fans sending me charts about what cocaine does to your brain.
Well, he's
When
not
you have
wrong.
him trying to when you have him trying to slow you down with your drug use, it's becoming an issue. It really is.
So when I was in the Air Force, I was a medic. And the first year, my duty station was I went to an OC, and there was an it was an old man, but the old man had a bunch of drugs.
He had a bunch of
You've
drugs.
seen a brain, and it's
You're
all
breaking up a
soft
little bit.
and mushy. And this guy's brain was hard, like a baseball almost. So
Whoa.
and that's what they
sick,
say
dude.
cocaine does to your brain. It puts all little holes in
Hardens
it.
it. Yeah.
Have fun
Swiss
now.
cheese.
Have fun now.
Right. My brain is holy. I gotta stop. I know.
Carlos Danger. I feel like Mint and
know.
Ozone should be chat friends. This bums me out. Yeah, I think so too. But they'll work it out. They are adults. Schmuel, got to upgrade the modem. I'm actually on T-Mobile.
You on
So,
Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Wow.
Been doing this for a long time and have never had a problem, except every now and then the router needs to be reset, and I haven't reset it in forever. So
I love Swiss cheese.
yeah. Oh, this is a good one. Dave already has a hole on top.
Let me say something though, Lady KB. That's right. Hey, fuck you, dude. Let's keep this the Schmuel, dude. How is it that I get the ball jokes, but you're here? First of all, Lady KB, I love you.
Because I'm in my 60s.
Beautiful
I'm
lady.
supposed to be bald.
I honestly, I know that you're throwing off the creeps. I get the scent. I understand that. But, like, if you would have said that you were going to Hackmania and not specifically know you were not going to Hackmania, I would have probably gone. Not because of anything sexual, I swear to God. Also, I do like cocaine, Lady KB. And while my head and brain might be Swiss cheese, I'm not a rat.
Lady KB did not rat you out, so
She didn't rat me out. No, I'm not calling her a rat. I'm not calling her a rat. No. I didn't call her a rat. I'm saying I'm not a rat.
Oh, I only brought it up because you were the second woman who said that you might have been rude to her in a week. So I was like giving you some advice. And Lady KB.
Look in reality.
I did say I was going.
You said no.
You could have been there.
No.
You could have been there.
It was in chat. It was one of the chats. Said, "You going to Hackmania?" You said no. I said, all right.
Yeah.
Quad's not going. KB's not going. I ain't going.
Yeah, here you go, buddy. This is our boy TJ. Don't worry, Dave. She was a good. She is good hand S. I think he means she was in good hands.
Another MLC legend. As much shit as I talk, I have to always give the legends their due.
So, yeah, it was the whole thing was. I was very. Look. I have no regrets about going, and I got to pay for my trip. So that was very cool. I enjoyed that much. And so there we go. Oh, wow.
I don't know. Maybe she did.
Say that again.
Maybe she did. Maybe you did. Maybe you did.
I did text you I was going, Dave.
Maybe I'm just look. I'm making a lot of excuses. This is the excuse I did not want to actually throw out there. Is in all reality, it is a little difficult to justify leaving Las Vegas on Mother's Day, especially when you live with her. So it turns into Mother's Weekend and Sunday, and so I don't want to seem like a little pussy. I'd rather, oh, he's broke, he doesn't have a job, he's drugged up. I'd rather you have those opinions of me.
I
I don't
got you.
need this. Dave's such a family guy. No, and you start beating my brother or something. I don't like this.
So, anyway, my boyfriend here, no, my friend, my friend who's a boy, Carlos Danger. Dudes bringing wives to Dabbleverse events is weird to me. Like, imagine the thing with women. Ain't nobody want that. So, Carlos, this is the deal, man.
Man,
The
come on.
Dabbleverse, the people in the Dabbleverse,
Hot
the ones
take.
that I've met, let me talk for a minute. The ones that
Take,
I've
dude.
met are not, they're not these spurgy, discordy type people. These are like people that are there just to have fun. And it turns out that the people that like to have fun and the normal people tend to congregate, and then the spurgy uh, ones who want to discord and cause trouble, I guess they're in their own world. But it was a lot of fun. I was really glad that I brought my wife, and she had a lot of fun. And you get to meet like pretty cool people, and she and look, we've met some of them before, so that's the deal. Carlos, name the Spurgies. I couldn't if I wanted to. I don't know
The
who they are.
I don't think bringing your wife is all that big of a deal. The only thing I would suggest against it is if you know these people, and if pictures get out, and pictures get altered, and images go viral, and things happen, and it's just it's never fun.
I
When an
know, but
innocent bystander.
look, it is what it is.
I know.
But you got whatever. I mean I haven't. I
I know what you
whatever.
mean.
I
know
just
what
I
you
don't
mean.
want to get into it. But it
I don't
doesn't
either.
it doesn't matter. And then what happens is like my wife's pictures gotten out, and the
It's not
guys
the. I
who
don't even.
love let
It's
me
not just the
finish,
pictures.
man.
It's not just
The
the
guys who
pictures.
love shitting on her or saying she's
It's
whatever, they're gonna shit on everybody. And it's the same thing with Carl's wife or anybody else's wife. It's just like, you got to look at who's commenting and let it off, not be bothered by it.
I love it. I'm glad you're taking steps.
Steps to what?
I realized now that your wife has been to more events than I have.
Cookie is a babe. Yes, KB. Well, that's why I brought her, because I really needed people to know that I'm not. I always feel like I'm a creepy old man, and like, why would
Well,
this creepy old man be wanting at these events and stuff? So,
still are a creepy old man.
she's fun, and I may be a creepy old man, but they at least know that I'm not going to be bothering them. Final boss. We're both monologuers. Who's the monologuer, Dave or Schmuel?
It's not a It's not a monologuer. It's monologist.
Monologist.
I need to isolate that clip. I need to do some shorts. But that one's a good one because that one gets commented a lot, which is I'm a monologist or I'm a fucking monologist. When Bill Burr's not Bill Burr, when Bill Maher's going back up, I have a clip of it on my anyway. Bill Burr's going back up in Arizona after getting booed off the stage and walking off, and Andrew Dice Clay goes, "Rock and roll, Bill," and Bill goes, "I'm a fucking monologist," and it's like. Good clip. Go watch it. I need the clicks. YouTube.com/David Sarah.
Dyslectic. That's very funny. Schmuel, this is way too personal for. But how does a sponsor and the steps reconcile with cyberbullying and harassment? Is the essence of the community. Frankly, sponsor's a sponsor. They're not my boss, and I don't think I cyberbully or harass. So
no, maybe you're being cyberbullied and harassed.
Oh, I guess the part of it is I'm too fucking stupid to know that I am. So
Or maybe he just means that like being part of a community whose essence is circulated around cyberbullying and harassing Stuttering John et al.
Interesting. I've never really thought of it that way.
We
You
need a
know,
flow chart. We need a sick Dabbleverse flow chart like you see at work.
but there's two.
And
I
who's
think
connected
there's
to
like
who?
two Dabble verses or two whatever they are.
There's
To
definitely
me,
the Dabbleverse
to
and the
me, there's the
Hackverse.
one that's just the fun and the shows and the people and we goof around and that stuff. And then there's the guys that are going after people and trying to dox them and do all that stuff. But who knows?
Ooh,
Who knows?
I know. We shouldn't sit here and promote other shows, especially not Ray's show. But if you were interested, Schmuel, if he is live when we're still live, would you like to try to raid him?
No, because I gotta bet. I'm like thinking that was a good opportunity
Cut off time.
for me to get off because I promised Pat I would go on his show. Um,
This will be fun to raid him.
so yeah, I
I'm
I
just
don't want to
joking, dude.
I don't
Relax,
look.
dude.
I don't want to antagonize Ray.
Relax.
It's like,
nobody's antagonizing. We're gonna raid him with 50 people.
but he's
good.
got he's got the potato on tonight. He needs the bump.
Great.
And, yeah, and that'd be
He's
great.
gonna do great.
And yeah, he's gonna do fine. He's gonna do fine. And what am I gonna do? Rate him with 30 people? I mean, come on.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Bullshit.
30 people, not 50.
Right.
You're right.
And
Forgot
here I am talking.
those fake.
I'm having this whole
X
discussion
numbers.
with Carlos Danger about what an adult I am and how I don't engage in these stupid behaviors and all that. And we're now talking about let's go raid Ray.
No, that's
So-
a good thing to raid Ray. You're giving him all your viewers. You know how it works. Like that's what happens. You're giving like all the viewers go there. It's good, and it shows up on a screen like
Ah,
you've been raided. You're such a boomer.
ah.
Not like panty raid him.
So yeah, what I know is that somebody else big in our universe is going to be doing a show, if it hasn't already started. Pretty
If they have,
shortly.
then
So
if they have, then we can maybe raid them.
yeah, that's gonna help. But
It is
look,
gonna help.
we could raid Karmic X, but
I think it's a great idea. Also,
yeah, I'm still. Listen, I'm gonna close with this, and we'll bring it back to this at some.
take your
other
time,
point.
buddy. I'm gonna start producing. You go ahead and do your thing.
All right, my. It's like I don't know. The one thing about Dabbleverse that always makes me really that I find strange is like one day you're shitting on somebody and the next day you're buds with them. So I don't know. I mean, are they squashing beefs or is it real or what's the story?
With who?
Um,
Who and who specifically?
Karmic
And
super chats
Melted?
or super tips.
Why would
Yeah,
there
wasn't
be
he
beef?
saying last week he was never going to do it and he never wanted to have anything to do with Melton and Moody get the fuck out?
Wow, the old switcheroo Karmic gave us.
Because
The old gas station glasses bandit.
Moody said over the weekend, Moody was like, I was really just trying to help the guy, and the guy turned on Moody. But yeah, it
Really?
was yeah.
What do you mean by
So-
turn on Moody?
Well, he was shitting on
Just shitting
on
him.
his
Okay, whatever.
stream. He was like, "Oh, get the fuck out of my! I'm not gonna do
Whatever.
this."
Now we know Melton coming in the stream and him going back and forth was all just fun and games, which I love.
Yeah, I do. I feel
again,
like.
that's the same. Go on.
Go ahead. I was gonna say, if it was a work, I don't think so because if it was a work, Melton's better at doing that. It wouldn't. None of this would have happened that quickly.
So what you're
so-
saying is Melton really dislikes Karmic, thinks he's garbage, but is trying to seem super unbiased and impartial by allowing him onto the super tip system that he doesn't actually even own or run. Is what
I
you're telling
have.
me.
No, I'm not telling you that at all.
So then what is the beef?
There is no beef. The beef was that Karmic was shitting all over
For me?
Melton, Moody, and Super Tips, and then less than a week later, he's on Super Tips.
Okay. So, right. That's what I'm saying.
What are you saying? You're saying that what I'm thinking, what my thing is that forget it.
They made up.
Dave,
Are
it's
you
too
saying
fucking hard
they
to,
just
like-
they made up? I'm confused at what you're trying to say, Schmuel. What are you asking?
My question is,
Not-
did they make it up, or was Karmic planning on doing this all along?
I don't even care. I have no clue, and nor do I care. All I'm saying is, Melt was shitting on him one week, and they're going back and forth, and then after Hackamania, he's got a thing going. So they made up, or Melton is still mad and is giving him super tips, or it was all just fake
Well, I
in
don't
the
think
beginning.
Melton. Yeah, frankly,
or
I don't think there's any on Melton's side. I don't think Melton gives a shit who
Melton's
has super
Melton's like
tips or
trying to
who
stick
doesn't.
it. This is like stuttering John going to Jay Leno. Melton saw Karmic. He's like, "Oh, Karmic's great," and then realizes the only thing that makes Karmic great is Kevin Brennan. Unfortunately, come over super tips.
I think you're missing my
Jennifer.
point. I shouldn't have. I just should have just
What?
shut my mouth.
You're right. I am missing the point. Okay, so you're asking me if Karmic had this whole wrestling thing planned from the beginning, or if he just what?
Right. My question is not on Melton's side, not on Moody's side. Okay. Because I think they really wanted to offer this guy super tips and whatnot and help him get monetized. On Karmic's side, Karmic was yelling about never doing it. Like he wasn't going to do it. He didn't want to have anything to do with these guys. And here we are less than a week later, and he's doing it, which meant he got a Stripe account. So was it a work from the very beginning on his side? Did he always know he was going to do it? Or did something change? Did they squash their beef? I don't know. I'm trying to
Okay,
you know.
let's deduce it this way. Karmic now has super tip. Karmic was approached by Melton. Karmic now now we have foresight that he's now using super tip. So at the step of him being approached, what he's done is you're asking me if it's more likely that Karmic decided that it's a work, or if Melton and Moody decided it's a work. I say it's Melton and Moody that's deciding it's a work, because either they communicated something. I don't think Karmic, who now is using super tip, meaning he's made the decision to use it, at this point in time when being approached for using super tip, I don't think he decided in his head, I don't think he's going, "Oh, they're approaching me, let me put on the wrestling shit," and then decide. No, it's decided at some point between them. My opinion.
All right. Yeah, I just
So,
whatever.
what's the answer you wanted me? Just tell me the answer that you wanted me to say.
I don't know.
It feels
I don't know
it feels like you're
I'm not,
frustrated with my answer.
because I'm not asking, because I'm saying take it as a fact that it wasn't a work on the Melton Moody side. My question then is, let me finish. My question then is,
Just said
was
okay.
it a work all along on Karmic's side, or did he just have a change of heart? I guess that's
First of
my
all,
point.
who could possibly give a shit? Second of all, now we're splitting hairs. Before you giving me the equation that Melton is definitively did not do it, then now I deduce that Karmic, at the point of being approached by Melton, said, "Hey, let's do a work," or thought in his head that I've got him on such a chain that I could work with him, and then just accept it in the end, or had already accepted it and then started talking shit.
All right, whatever.
That's
Anyway,
what I'm deducing,
Carlos
since you've
Danger
told
says
me
I
now,
have
New Line.
confirmation bias, so I'm just going to accept that as a fact, and I am going to go on. Chris, hold on one second. I want to just Chris Mack, and then I got to get out of here. I do not know who we're talking about. Carlos Danger, she sent me the proposal she was floating him. I tried to be nice, but about how I didn't think getting into business with him would be a good idea. I thought I might have used some offensive words. I
Chat be
honestly,
chatting about chat.
huh?
So
I don't know
chat be
who.
chatting about chat. Exactly.
Yeah,
They're
I have
talking
no
about something
right.
random.
But if they're chatting about chat, we're gonna bring them in and make them right.
No,
We're gonna
all I'm
make
saying
them
is
part of
chat be
this
chatting about chat. I
chat.
don't know. You're the one bringing it up. Hey, eat a Snickers bar. Relax.
I can't. You know what? I'm very tense these days.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
could
I'm sitting
tell.
at a craps machine. You know what? I have anxiety about going on for so long and Mr. Dixon waiting. So
Well, how long is he?
I don't know, guys. I don't know, but you know what? Um, I'm supposed to do the show early. We did it. We did it later. We didn't really touch on any of the Dabbleverse stuff as far as the shows go and whatnot. We talked about the location. We updated TripAdvisor for Carlos so he can write things for us. We talked about the wonderful people that were there. For the most part, man, everybody I met were fantastic. Everybody was really nice. Um, and I enjoyed myself and I'd go back again. And on Thursday, when we were back, I will break down the costs of going to Dabbleverse. Because,
Break down the costs
yeah, bottom line, it costs about $2,000 to go, I think. Right? Between the
with a
hotel and
but with you without your wife.
with,
Yeah, come on.
which is not,
Yeah, makes sense. You needed
which is
about
not,
$1,000. Yeah,
which is not horrible. But to be honest, if I was going away for a weekend someplace, I wouldn't go to Vegas. I'm too old.
no, you go for the people specifically.
Right. It was like, and look, those shows put in a lot of work.
It looked great. It looked a lot better.
and
Look, the
I'm
stream
telling
looked
you,
great.
watching Tukey and Cardiff act off each other, work off each other, it's like unbelievable. These two guys just randomly found each other.
I'm
know?
taking note because that's exactly what I want the Live Aids to be, the MI Degenerate show. So that's exactly what I want it to be. That perfect,
Yeah, I don't know.
live, perfect quality.
Carlos, give us the Spurs. I don't know who they are, man. Carlos, I'm sorry to disappoint. My oh, hold on here a second. What's up with tight box though? Is that a misnomer? She's 100% she. I'll put it to you that way. And
All right,
what a
same
doll.
question now, Annie.
What a doll. She was fantastic. And I had
Seems like a
asked
very
her
nice lady.
I had asked her about if I saw I'd seen her a couple of times. She has there was a tattoo on her leg that I thought I hadn't seen before, and I said to her, I go, "Is that a new tattoo?" And she told me she has not gotten a tattoo in 10 years, but yet every time she meets people, they always ask her if one of her tattoos is a new tattoo. So, but she's a doll, man. She's a doll.
Wow.
And
She seems like a very nice lady. I tried to win a date with her.
those dudes dressed in Hawaiian shirts with tight box, huh? You have to look at those. They're actually logo shirts. They make there's like a Tukey Soup logo, there's Cardiff Picks, there's other stuff. So and that's it. Like, and yes, KB, she's a sweetie. And with that, we're gonna close. We're gonna leave them wanting more. Go over to Dave Sarah. He's gonna continue this and
no, I'm not continuing this.
thank you, Dave. And yeah, so that's the story. And Carlos Danger, oh, that makes it better. Normal now. Those shirts, I don't know if they all still are, but those shirts were created by a dabbler and given to the guys. I don't know if new ones are, but the original ones were. And that's the deal. Skinny Chad, thank you, boss. It's burger time. Y'all go eat. Y'all go have fun. Good night. It's been a blast. I'll try to get back tomorrow, but definitely Thursday evening. I will see you all, and my boy Dave will be here.
You don't have to have.
Oh, and I'm going to play us out with a video. How does that sound? Because I think this is the most important. Whoa. Important.
Find me in
Hold on.
Ray's chat.
Oh, you want to be in Ray's chat?
I got a hat.